I'm going to talk about two events that took place. One was in Europe and the other one when Prime Minister Modi came visiting Donald Trump. Actually, I'm standing right at the place where one saw a lot of protests. I'm going to share with you one protest that was taking place that was of people fighting for the minorities of Bangladesh. What was really heartening to know was this was not just Bangladeshi Hindus. It was Hindus across the world as well as many Muslims from Bangladesh who also were there in support of their Hindu brethren. This is the first time I have seen, I probably there were other events also, but I saw this solidarity. It was very touching because the Hindu minority had nothing to do with the coup, and yet they are being persecuted. So the first event, I'm going to share with you a small video where you can see protesters actually wearing the Hindu Desh brooch that I'm wearing also. Here we go. These were placards that were held in White House, opposite the White House. And you see here a gentleman protesting, and you can see him wearing the same Hindu Desh brooch that I am wearing. This is not all. Like I said, the second event was the one that took place in the European Parliament on the 19th of February, where many speakers from many countries expressed their concerns over the fate of minorities in Bangladesh. The speakers were Manal Sami, President of the European Association for the Defense of Minorities, 𝗤𝗙𝗙𝗪, 𝗔𝗠𝗘𝗙𝗪, Human Rights Advisor and Advocate. What is 𝗔𝗠𝗘𝗪, you might ask? 𝗔𝗠𝗘𝗪 is Global Human Rights Defense, and GHR TV is their television channel, and they actually covered this live. In case you want to see it, I have given you the link also. Salvatore Di Maio, member of the European Parliament, Magdalena Adamovic, member of the European Parliament, Regina Doherty, member of the European Parliament, Thomas Dechowski, a member of the European Parliament, Erik Sell, leader of the Christian Conservative Party Norway, he was a special guest, as well as Himanshu Gulati, another special guest, member of Parliament, Norway. What were the discussion points? Increasing violence and discrimination against religious and ethnic minorities, including Hindus, Buddhists, Christians, and indigenous communities. They did not even spare the tribes. Specific incidents of attacks, vandalism, and forced displacements following the fall of the Sheikh Hasina government. You notice that many Hindu professors, doctors, government servants were all asked to or forced to give their resignation letters. And I don't think that's going to hold up in a court of law, but then the court of law has to convene and do the right thing, isn't it? So there are lots of things happening in Bangladesh. Emphasis on the need for international intervention to ensure the protection of minority rights in Bangladesh. The role of global organizations such as the United Nations, the European Union, and GHRD monitoring human rights violations came under sharp focus, and it was resolved that much needs to be done in that. Systematic persecution, socio-economic marginalization, and lack of legal protection was noticed. The political instability creates an environment conducive to hate crimes and religious violence. Strengthening legal frameworks in Bangladesh to protect minorities. Now, each individual had something unique to say. Manal Sami, the president of European Association for Defense of Minorities, highlighted the urgent need to address human rights violations against minorities in Bangladesh. 𝗤𝗙𝗙𝗪, the GHRD Human Rights Advisor and Advocate, presented case studies of recent attacks on minority communities, emphasizing the role of advocacy in supporting victims. Salvatore Di Maio and three others stressed the importance of European Union policies in promoting human rights and supporting Bangladesh in safeguarding its minorities. Special guest Erik Sell of the Christian Conservative Party, Norway, emphasized the moral responsibility of the global community to speak out against human rights abuses, and Himanshu Gulati, member of Parliament, Norway, called for increased diplomatic pressure on the Bangladeshi government to prevent further violence against minorities. By the way, look out for this party, Christian Conservative Party. I predict that they will win in Norway. They have never come to power as far as I can remember. They will be winning this time, I think. Just like I said, that the AFD is headed for a victory in Germany. What were the outcomes of the event? The event concluded with a consensus on the need for immediate international action to stop ongoing violence, stronger diplomatic and legal measures to hold the perpetrators responsible, continued advocacy to ensure the voices of minority communities in Bangladesh are heard. Now, this is where we stand now, and I would not give much credence to the statement given by the person who is the equivalent of border security force from Bangladesh, that the minorities are not being touched. I think that's all lies, pack of lies. And I think that is just his individual observation. He's a border security person. He might not be going and traversing the breadth and width of the country to know the real facts. Whatever it is, things are not in good shape. It is especially for the minorities of Bangladesh, and the economic hardship that is going to affect the entire community. All that is going to start taking a heavy toll. Let's wait and see how things play out. Namaskar.